Hey guys, it's April. 6.6.112 has rolled out and we now have offsets. Some of you got to see last week we were using some of the beta that showed the offset in there, but it is starting to roll out. If you don't have it yet, don't panic, it's coming. But it is new, so there may be a few bugs in it, guys, and they will work those out. So just be patient while they work on it. It is updating and changing, and they do fixes to it all the time as they arise. So what does offset do? We got a couple of other things that we got with this rollout too, and we're going to cover it all, but we're going to start with the offset. So I've just gone and grabbed a few images and punched them in here for Easter and birthday, and then I typed the word create, and you can see it's just in the basic text. That's all I've done. And once you've got your image in and you select it, you'll see that the offset becomes available in the edit bar up here. So when you click on that, it's going to open up this little box, and this still says beta, but you can see beta is gone from up here. I think that'll be in the next update they do, that'll get removed, but they are still working on it. It is going to come in, and you can see that it's 0.25. It's going to come in at whatever your last setting was. So if I had this set at 0.125 and I did an offset with it, and then I came back in, oops, I got a little bit of a bug there. It's okay, it'll come back. So if I had this set at 0.125 and I did my offset, it may not do 1.25 on this image. That might be what it will be. Let me just bump it up. All right, there's 0.111. So I'm just going to hit apply. Could be my internet. And you can see it gives me that image. When I go to my next image and I select offset, you can see that that 0.111 is there. Okay, so whatever your last setting was, that's what it's going to be on your next image. Okay, and there are several ways that you can work with your shadow layer. You can make it really big, but going back to this one, I'm just going to get rid of that. Let's click offset, and it should be still set, and you can see that it's got this nice edge, but maybe I want it filled in on the inside. And if you bump it up to get that, it's going to be a little slow. You see how big it gets out there? That's not really what I'm looking for, to get that huge blackout. So I'm going to get it, just pay attention to my edges and get it like I wanted it. And I'm just going to put that at 0.125 again. Hopefully it'll take this time. And apply. So there we go. But now oops. Yeah, you have to hit apply. There we go. And once you hit that apply, if you want this to be solid in the back without all these tiny cutouts, you're going to use your contour tool, and then you're just going to hide all contours. Okay, you can select them individually, or you can do one. And then you can see that I have that background layer, and I can change those to any colors that I want and create my design. So you want to pay attention to the outside edges only if you want to get that solid blackout look, but you don't want a big huge edge on the outside, so pay attention to that. And you can always go back if you want to get it to cut around the letters as well. Let me get my contour and show all contours. There we go. And then you can see that those are in there as well. Now they are connected up there, so you've got a couple of ways to do that. So that is one way of doing it. Now that's the way this is going to be, because these letters are connected. Okay, and I'm just going to hide that. Group and hide in case we want to come back. Well, it didn't group. There we go. Next, you have your happy birthday. Let's talk a little bit more about offsets. Now you can see right here we have this corner. It came in exactly the same thing that I had used last time. I like that width, so I'm just going to stay with it. But you have corner here, and you can see, I'm going to pull this over to the side so maybe we don't block it. You can see how nice and rounded that is. But what if I wanted it to be squared? If I change that, you can see now that you have that squared off detail on there. So you can get different types of offsets. I'm going to bring this one down, depending on which corner type you choose. Okay, so those are for the exact same happy birthday, but it's going to give it two totally different looks. Let's just change a color here so we can see. I'll do one pink. But you can see you've got a nice little happy birthday there. We can just duplicate this out and not do anything and still have that squared off look there. Now, in my opinion, I would probably go in and take out this little piece here, but it's going to depend, those little pieces are going to depend on the type shadow and the size shadow that you selected. Okay, super fun, super easy. I'm going to show you a couple more too. Then you have this rabbit here. Let's go in and do a shadow layer for that. And I'm going to click offset, and I might be able to get this to do it, and I may not be able to get this to do it. There we go. But you can see I got, oops, all those little lines in there. And again, may not be what you're looking for. You want a total blackout, but you don't want a big, huge edge on the outside. Again, you're going to come in here and use contour for all of those. And it's going to contour out those pieces, and then you're just going to line that up. And then you can flatten it for print and cut. You can cut it and layer vinyl or iron on. Any way you want to do that, paper, all sorts of things you can do. Now, I did notice I brought in this image with multiple layers, and if it does it, it may not do it again. I'm going to bring it over here so you guys can see it. I keep forgetting that. And you can see that with all of those grouped, it did a nice little image. Now, the first time that I did this image, it had a bunch of lines lining up here, and when I made my shadow layer, it wasn't really complete. There it is. And you can see how that made that shadow layer. This one has, down here at the bottom, a back layer. And if I duplicate that back layer, I don't have to ungroup anything. I can leave it just like that. But if I just take that back layer, it has some lines cut in it, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to go in and do my offset again, and I'm going to apply it, and you can notice there's a big difference. This will cut this way, and it has something to do with the paths on these flowers and this butterfly. I don't know. It may be a slight bug in Design Space. It may be the way this image was designed, and there's just an open path or something in there that's causing it. But if you take out all those little bitty top layers and just do that back layer, your solid layer on images like this, you can get that shadow layer for that. And then if you say you wanted just that back layer for whatever reason, guys, you can come in here on your offset and you can go to a minus and you can do an inset. So if you want to and get it cleaned up like you want, and then we're going to click apply. So now I have an inset layer. Why would you want to do that? Sometimes you might want this. I'm going to see if I can arrange and move that to the front. Let's see if I got it the right size. I hope I did. Then I have this one that's just a little bit different in size. Why would you want to do that? Let's come over here to our line type, and let's change that to maybe foil and medium. And now I can go in and I can add some foiling onto that image. I can flatten all that and have it foil. So lots of fun things that you can do with those insets and things like that. So play around with it and have fun, okay? So I'm just going to get rid of this. We don't need this. I've covered that part with you. I don't know what that circle is. That's, again, this image, you might have to do some work with it and get just a basic layer. I believe it's the way this image is cut, but I wanted to show you guys that you can see that little tail there and that that shouldn't be there. It's not here on this one, but it is on my inset. Play around with your adjustments and get it right, okay? But I'm just going to duplicate this a couple of times. Get rid of that. We don't need it. This is just for sample purposes only. While we're on, just before, I'm going to show you a little bit more with the offset, but while I was here with the line type, I wanted to show you that they have changed the pen thicknesses on here. So when you set one to bold, you can see that it gets bolder in the canvas. And if I set it to fine, it's going to change it here. That way, when you put it on your image, you can get a good idea of what it's going to look like instead of them all just looking the same. And then when you do it, you're like, that's not really heavy enough, or that's just too heavy. Now you can see it before you actually create it. Okay. So that's going to help you there. So make sure that you're using that feature and you change that. If you're doing pens, you can change this to a pen. And you can see that that is the 4mm. I'm going to change this one and go up and change it to the pen. And we're going to change that one on the pen type here at color. We're going to go in and change that to the 8mm gel. Not a whole lot of difference in that one. But if you get to the 1mm marker, let's say gold metallic, you can see how much heavier that line is. And then if I change this one to the pen, and maybe go with the 2mm calligraphy marker in black, you can see it's going to show me approximately what my design is going to look like according to what pen or what foil tool that I choose. So that's another good thing when you're doing your offsets. You can see, is the fine going to be good, or do I need to go heavier? Is the heavy going to be good? Do I need to go less? If I'm using this pen, what's it going to look like? It's there. Super, super, super cool. So I'm going to get rid of that, and then we're going to bounce right back to offset. Now I have my word create here, and I don't know if you noticed in offsets down here at weld offsets, when I create this offset, you can see that it's doing an inset right now because I'm negative. I'm going to go back to the positive side, and you can see I'm going to apply. I have create all in one. But what if you were doing something like a banner, or you wanted separate letters so that you can scatter them about in different places? Like say you're doing an ABC chart or something and you want it to be positioned different places on your card or your project, whatever. You can come in here to the offset and you can unmark. You can see it went back to my last default, and I'm going to uncheck that and apply. Now I have a separate offset for each individual letter. Now all I have to do is ungroup my letters here, and then I can match those up as well. So you've got lots of fun stuff to go in and play with here. Can't wait to see what you guys are doing with your offset tool. We have been begging and begging and begging, and today we get to do our happy dance. So next, I just told you about the pen thicknesses on the canvas. What else have they given us? I can't wait till you guys see this. Love, love, love. Collections. We now have collections, okay? And there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can start here with the plus, and you can go to new. And let's see, I'm going to type boxes because I know I've got some boxes in here, and I'm going to create. So in the past, we have gotten project search, and it would allow us to search our projects and bring up boxes. But then we had all of these. So what if I wanted to separate them from Easter or holiday boxes from everyday boxes? Now we can do that. I'm just going to select, actually, I'm going to come up here to organize right here, select organize, and it's going to bring up all those boxes that I sorted. Okay. And I am just going to, I'm going to select about 4. I've got the barn door, the Easter boxes, the Be Mine, and the pot of gold. And down here you can see it says I have 4 of 100 selected. That is telling me that I can only put 100, only 100 boxes into a category. So I would have to, if I've got more than 100, I'm going to have to go in and do another set, like boxes 2 or holiday boxes, so that I can separate them and put more boxes into each category. So that will tell you how many you have, and I'm going to hit next, and then it's going to let me select the boxes when I just created and done. Now when I go up here to boxes, all of those boxes that I had are right there. If I want to go to cards that I've made in 2021, then I've got cards that I made right here in 2021. You can separate those out by holiday if you want to do it by Christmas. I do all of my cards in one because I know that I can change any card to be any holiday that I want. All I need is the base. So how you design and how you save your collections or want to create your file system, you have it, okay? And I believe it's unlimited collections or categories. I call them categories, but it's called collections. You can have unlimited collections, but only 100 in each collection, okay? If that makes sense. So now I can go to boxes, and then I can actually search in boxes for, let's see, pot of gold, and it's going to bring up that one box out of that section. So you not only have your search that we got with projects a while back, but now the project search works in the collection. So we have unlimited ways here basically to categorize all of your projects. Love, love, love. Thank you so much for that, Cricut. We greatly, greatly appreciate that, because before it was really difficult if I needed to find my butterfly card to go through here and search and search and search and search and search for that butterfly card. And they gave us the search, which helped. But when I searched that butterfly, then I got all of this, okay? And some of them are cards, some of them are banners, some of them might be boxes. So I don't want those all in one folder. I may want them in something else, okay? So I know that this was a mobile that I started. I don't want that in my cards. So now I have a way to organize and get all of those where I wanted them, okay? So lots and lots of new things that they're giving us in this rollout. And last but not least, I'm going to go to my projects. And I covered this before. I'm just going to back out of here, go to my canvas. I've covered this before. If you're working on something, of course you want to save. I've got my asterisk. It tells me that it's not saved because I've moved something in the canvas and I haven't saved it. And I'm just going to save this as a test. Okay. And look at that. Now my collections come up. Do I want to save that into one of my categories? So I'm just going to put this in boxes, even though I don't need it. So there we go. And now when I go to those projects, it's going to be there. So I know that test is in there in my projects, in the collections. Let's see what else is next. So you can see that that disappeared now that I'm in here. How do you get back, and how do you find your collections? What you're going to do is go to new, or you can go to, I'm sorry, home. Oops, not new, home. And then go to view all on your projects right here. And that's where your collections are going to be. And then you can search your projects and search all of the projects, or you can come in and you can select one of your collections and then search within that collection here. Hope that that makes sense for you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And lastly, I wanted to show you, I've covered it before, copy and paste. We did get that, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that that is working. So I'm just going to go to my boxes collection. I'm going to open this one up and customize. So let's say that I have this box up and I want to put it into another design, but I don't want all of the St. Patrick's Day stuff because I want to do something else. I'm going to select just the box part here. I'm going to ungroup it. Select just the box part. I am going to right click and copy. And now I have it copied. You can't see it here, but up at the top of your window, you should see Cricut Design Space and File, Edit, View, Help. And you're going to go to File. And when you click on File, there's going to be a drop down that says New Window. You're going to select that. And when you do, it's going to give you a new window. You can go to New Project, come in and right click and paste, and you have just the box that you wanted without all the elements. Then you can do a Save As, and you can save that as your box base, whatever it is that you want to save it as, save it in your boxes, and save. And now you have that box in there without having to reconstruct everything. Just makes it easier. You don't have to do any saving to the project that you had in there. You can just, oops, I'm going to quit that window. You can just come back, go to a new project, replace. Going to go to my projects. Going to open up the boxes. There it is. And then I have this box base that I can go in and I can work with. So super easy, super fun. Don't forget about your copy and paste. I do want to say, if you are on mobile, you probably do not have offsets at this time. It is only available on computer and laptop. I have not checked it yet. As they roll out the updates for mobile, I will update the mobile series. This video is for the PC and laptop users, and I'm sure that they will announce as soon as any new features are available for mobile users. So you guys enjoy, have a great day, give a thumbs up on the video, and I will catch you on the next one.